All right. Well, let's move to the next big game. Got a little Big Ten action coming in here as well, but we're being hosted in the Big 12, so we'll give them the credit for it. Iowa Hawkeyes. I almost said Iowa State Hawk. I got the states wrong. Iowa Hawkeyes go to Ames to play Iowa State.
Yes.
And this line, we talked about it when we did the guess the lines. This line blew both of us away. Just had me completely shaken at my core. I don't understand how we have the data that we have on both of these teams. In this game, was it close to a pick'em? Or Iowa favored a little bit? The fact that Iowa State opened up as a 6-point favorite, it is now a 4.5-point favorite. When we did the opening line show, it was a 3.5-point favorite, so the line's kind of bouncing back and forth a little bit. I don't know what to take from this. I know this Iowa football team's defense is really good. All right, it's probably the best defense Iowa State's going to play the entire year. They struggled to score points against Northern Iowa, who, while they're a pretty good,
Northern Iowa gives people fits. I mean, people overlook them, and I think Iowa State might have been caught in a similar situation to Oregon. They didn't want to overplay their hand. That being said, I mean, only to put up 16 points against, Northern Iowa, you can't do that.
This was a team I thought could be able to run the football at least. You can be vanilla. You can be bland, and I'm not talking about Chip Kelly's run game. I'm not talking about Gus Malzahn's run. You can be vanilla and bland and run the football, and you should be able to just, with bigger, stronger offensive linemen, move people out of the way, get first downs, matriculate the ball down the field, and punch it into the end zone a couple of times. You get one rushing touchdown, that's the only time you get in the end zone the whole game. I just kind of thought this was pretty pathetic. I wonder how good this offense is. Is Brock Purdy regressing at all? Because I'm going to tell you this. If Northern Iowa, who is a tough championship-level team, not a bowl-level team, if their defense is giving you fits, Iowa's going to come in here and lay the lumber on a defensive side. Now, you and I both understand, we both acknowledge Iowa's not the greatest offensive football team in the world, okay? They're going to struggle to get points as well. Iowa State's defense, probably good. I don't
but
know
not
that
great.
They're not as – I don't know that they're as good as Indiana's defense.
Probably not. And, looking at Iowa's offensive – Iowa won that game against Indiana with 2 pick sixes.
2 pick sixes, yeah.
Right?
They got 14 points spotted to them.
And so Tyler Goodson, their running back, 19 carries for 99 yards. Take away the 56-yard touchdown run, he had a pretty mediocre day. Yes, he busted one long, but that average, you take it off, it's through the floor. Spencer Petras, 145 yards passing.
Not great.
13 to 27, 5.4 yards per pass. Not world-bending numbers. Yeah. Yes, the final score was much, much bigger than it was, but 14 points. Yeah, it's 2 pick sixes. I'm on record. I don't love Iowa's offense. I think you know exactly what you're going to get from them. You're going to get, passes to the tight end, passes to the other tight end, and then maybe a run up the middle, and then pass to the third tight end. That's what they do. And those tight ends are all going to go to the league and become Hall of Famers because that's what Iowa tight ends do. I think Iowa State, they better have been saving something for Iowa because – Brock Purdy only 199 yards passing. Breece Hall only 69 yards rushing. Those two guys were being talked about in the Heisman conversation before the season. And if those are the numbers you're putting up against Northern Iowa, that Hawkeye defense is going to come in and is going to be something completely different. So you got to hope that Iowa State was saving as much in the tank as they could. I don't know how much that's the case because you only beat Northern Iowa by less than 1 touchdown. So you need to win that game, but yeah, I also get going vanilla.
Let me ask this question. Yes. Very simple. Do you think Penix Jr. is better than Brock Purdy or not? Because I know you kind of like both these guys.
I do. The biggest question I have is Michael Penix recovering from that knee injury. Is he the same quarterback as he was last year?
I don't think so.
He did not look at against Iowa.
I agree.
But on surface, I think I like Purdy more than I like as a quarterback.
I guess I should have asked this question because I'm referring to the interceptions.
Sure.
Do you think Purdy has potential to turn the ball over? They're struggling to score. They're going to try to make something happen, just like Indiana. They got down, 2 scores, and then I got to make a play. Is he more apt to turn the ball over or make the play? Because Penix, when you put Penix in a corner, I think he's more apt to turn the ball over than he is to make the play.
Yeah, I mean, Penix was in a situation where he had to play hero ball.
Yep.
And
no, he had no choice.
No,
he got down 3 scores.
Yeah, but I think Purdy, I mean, he was 21 of 26 for 199 yards passing.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, no picks. That's efficient passing. If you're able
I also think Penix is, Purdy is, I don't mean to cut you off, Purdy's better offensive coaching is coming from Iowa State than Indiana, right?
I'll buy that, sure.
I think he's a better thrower of the football. He's not nearly as mobile as Penix.
Nope.
But that doesn't mean always you won't make the mistake because that's a head thing. It's not a coaching thing, and that's not a mobility, passing accuracy thing. That's just sometimes it's a between the ears thing.
Yeah, I mean, could be. And I want to see what Penix does. I want to see what Indiana does. Because the adjustments you make from week 1 to week 2 are usually the biggest adjustments. Like you come out week 1, and what happens on the field happens on the field, and then you go back and you now have game film to watch. So this is the first week where we actually have some knowledge of this season instead of trying to assume from last season. But there's a lot of mismatches in week 1. There's a lot of games you really can't take a lot away from. Right. But I think in this situation, we know more about Iowa because their opponent, Indiana, is supposed to be really, really good.
I agree with that. So let's get the stats on the game. You've got Iowa State minus 4.5. The total, we talked about that. The total of this game is your typical Big Ten little number. We think these two teams are going to play defense. 46. I didn't think we'd get to the mid-40s, Sam. I actually thought it'd be higher than this. I was coming in all pumped up, excited to take the over the under in a game that I thought the total would be around 49-50.
Yeah,
46 is pretty tight.
That's low. I mean,
that's pretty tight.
I kind of like the over on this, honestly.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, sure. I think Iowa State. If Iowa State's offense can get humming,
yes,
I think they can score on Iowa. But Iowa's defense is so good. Will Iowa's offense be able to put up, the 20, 25, 24 points that they need in order to kind of hit that over? I think they can.
I'll tell you this. I think Iowa's offense is going to look substantially better. While Iowa State's a good team, and I like Iowa State a lot this year, I don't think their defense is close to as good as Indiana's defense.
Sure.
I think Iowa's off. The Hawkeyes are going to be able to move the football. Will they be able to punch it in the end zone, or will they be settling for a bunch of field goals? That might determine how many points we get in. As are we busting this over or not?
Right.
But I think they're going to be in scoring position far more than they were against Indiana. Far more.
Sure, and I agree. I think Indiana's defense is good, and the Iowa offense sputtered against a really, really good Indiana defense. So,
all right,
I think I like the over on this one.
You like the over? What do you like to the side?
Again, I don't want to step on our official picks, but
it's fine to step on the pick. We got to give a pick here.
Yeah, suffice to say, I'm leaning towards Iowa on here. I mean,
yeah.
Yes, they're on the road. I think just the way they were playing.
I can't believe this number.
They're better than Iowa State. I don't get
it's more. I get more than a field goal in a game in which I think it's going to be a field goal football game. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're saying these things about Iowa or about Iowa State. I think it's going to be a tight game. I thought this line would be as close to a pick 'em as I was going to get. I can't believe I'm getting more than a field goal. So I'm taking Iowa as well.
Yeah.